Hi, students. How are you doing? Hope you are doing great. Welcome to Diane Sim. So, I think these people really do need a rehabilitation because at this point in time, I personally feel that some certain things are in kind of personal and they really do need to probably take a deep breath and channel their energy and their anger to something else. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because you can wake up to tell Black people that they are trying to unalive you without any proof. You all voted for who you voted for. And to this very moment, whoever you voted for, she has been on the run. And I am not seeing you people looking for a way to bring the person to assist you people, right? Now, tell me how the people that try to be nice, kind to you people all of a sudden became the monster. Because as it is right now, Black people are the monster and they are the saints. I leave it at that, which is okay, right? That is, yes, we are. No problem. Then tell me that how did Black people go from trying to help people, from trying to help you people, to be becoming the problem? Because if you all look around and you all are not seeing that you all are the problem, then you all need to go back to hospital because something must really be very wrong with you people at this point in time. Stay good. Let's get into this video.
You're never going to see a TikTok leftist apologize to the Black community for the heinous anti-Black things they say because they don't respect Black people. They don't care about Black people. They think Black people are an obstacle to what they're trying to accomplish. That's why they don't care about racism. That's why they always talk about class consciousness and class reductionism. That's why they always want Black people to put their Blackness to the side and just do what they're supposed to do to help all of us, right? It's because they don't give a fuck about Black people. They're just fucking white supremacist pieces of shit. And they think that they are more noble than everyone else, and so they don't have to apologize for thinking of Black people as an obstacle to their goals. Think about worrying about Black concerns as an obstacle to their fucking goals. That's the fucking problem. They're never going to apologize to Black people because they don't respect Black people.
A few things you need to know about this video and this individual. 1, it is not an apology. This is an act of violence and pretty much a hit on Black Americans. 3, he is a conservative leftist because just the way MAGA uses DEI to describe Black people, that's what he means when he says liberal, just like the rest of his comrades.
Liberals can not, first of all, no community is a monolith. Black people are not a monolith. Liberals are completely unable to engage within these conversations with Black and white nuance. And, for them, it's either, all Palestinians must die and things like that.
And one last thing, he is a liar because he did not hear anybody say that. Nobody says that. And as my mutual Marie already pointed out, he said it about 7 times throughout this video that all capital P must. This is such a disgustingly violent act, but it really just goes to show why there can never be any type of unity with people who engage in this type of behavior. They are not safe people for anyone.
Liberals are completely unable to engage within these conversations with Black and white nuance.
To add on to what my mutual said in this video, I find it odd that he said Black and white nuance. Black and white nuance. You see, the stupidity in that statement is a black and white argument often lacks nuance, right? Because you don't examine nuances. You believe that things are black and white. You make the argument that if someone votes for, say, Kamala Harris, they are somehow a genocide enabler and a baby killer. That's what you guys were doing. You weren't engaging in a nuanced conversation with that argument that you were making, that black and white argument that you were making. You were looking at these black people, primarily black content creators in this country, that were advising people to vote for Kamala Harris, to see Donald Trump as an actual threat, not just to what was going on over there, but to the people in the United States. And you engaged in a lack of nuance argument a black and white argument that it was either this or that to justify attacking overwhelmingly black people. And this is the reason why I say, just like my mutual says, that a lot of their conversations that they have is rooted in anti-blackness. They don't actually value what black people have to say. They don't care that black people will actually lose things. You see Donald Trump engaging in a complete erasure of black history in the United States and an all-out attack on marginalized groups in this country. And content creators like that guy, are engaging in these attacks primarily on black people, weaponizing other black people against those black people to hide the fact that they're anti-black. I'm going to tell people straight up in everything that I love, that guy is a weak-ass individual in every stretch of the imagination. He is incapable of taking accountability for his part in spreading anti-blackness, sowing anti-blackness. And even so much so weak to the point that when he makes these videos, he turns off the comment section because he is a weak individual. These leftists like that, they don't have a plan. They have nothing to offer to us. And if they could, specifically the non-black ones, if they could ignore racism and anti-blackness, they would, because they are indoctrinated. They are indoctrinated to believe that black people have no value. We need to stop engaging with those types of people. Because if it came to our liberation and addressing our liberation, those types like that wouldn't give a fuck. And not to belabor this point, because we black people have consistently pointed this out to people, but people like to play up in our faces and pretend that they're not seeing it either. But when they say liberal, when they say Democrat, they mean black. And the reason why I say that is because, ironically, even though black people don't make up the overwhelming majority of voters, Democratic voters in this country, even though the black people don't make up the overwhelming majority of the liberal base in this country, and it's mostly, almost entirely, white people that make up both the Democratic Party and both the Republican Party and both the liberal and conservative base of support, somehow, every single time they're stitching a video or commenting on a video, it's always a black person that they're attacking. A black Democrat or a black voter or a black content creator that's talking about the Democratic Party. Somehow they don't make their way to the pages of these large white content creators that are doing the same. Somehow they don't do that. And a lot of these black leftists, these faux revolutionary leftists, always see this happening and they allow themselves to be the face of anti-blackness. You are no different from those black conservatives that allow themselves to be the face for anti-blackness on the right. Be so fucking for real. I want you guys to know how unfucking serious a lot of these faux revolutionary leftists are on this. I posted a video, and in one of the videos, I implored with people to stop engaging with these types. Stop engaging with these faux revolutionary, perpetually online, dumbass leftists, because they don't have a plan, and they are going to drag you down in their stupid fucking theoretical world that they cannot bring into fruition because they don't have a fucking plan. So on that video, one of them came into the comment section and basically said, well, we have a plan. And guess what that plan was? If you guessed theory, you would be right. Theory. And I pointed that out to him over and over again. I've realized with a lot of these faux revolutionary, perpetually online leftists, they believe if they put plan in front of their sentence, that means that that's a plan. They are telling you their plan. If you are telling me that you're going to mobilize voters, if you are telling me that you're going to get these voters that don't show up to vote for your candidate, if you are telling me that you are going to speak to these different disaffected communities, that is not a plan. That is not a plan. That is an aspiration. A plan is something along the lines of Barack Obama in 2008. As much as leftists don't want to acknowledge, Obama was not what the Democratic establishment wanted to win in 2008. I specifically remember this election because that was one of the first elections that I voted in. And his 2008 election was actually what drove me to major in political science because I found it so fascinating that this man just came out of nowhere, won the nomination, and then won the presidency twice. So let's take a trip back to 2004. Obama is speaking at the Democratic National Convention. He was a newly elected Democratic senator for the state of Illinois, a one-term senator. Before he was in the Senate, he worked in the Illinois state legislature. So he wasn't even a congressman. He was a state legislature. And before that, he was a community organizer for the city of Chicago. I believe the south side of Chicago, which is pretty much not the best part of Chicago. He wasn't this major political figure that was backed by big money and the Democratic super PACs. He had none of that. When he spoke at the 2004 Democratic National Convention, people started having rumblings about him eventually becoming president. No one believed that he would run in 2008. They felt that that would be the time for Hillary Clinton to finally step up and run for president and win. Now, if you know what happened before that, the Democratic Party was experiencing bankruptcy, and it was the Clintons that saved the Democratic Party from complete financial collapse. Now, with a lot of people, the way they frame this is the Clintons bought the nomination. Hillary bought the nomination by giving the Democratic Party money to avoid financial ruin. She at the time said that she was content with being a senator from the state of New York, and she had no intentions of running for president. A lot of people didn't buy that. They still believe to this day that she attempted to buy the Democratic nomination, which she fucking did not, because even if she did, it didn't really help her. Obama had no intentions of running in 2008. It was Ted Kennedy that encouraged Obama to run and take hold of that energy that he was receiving from the 2004 Democratic National Convention. And he did, and the Democratic Party establishment was not happy that he decided to run. If you look at some of the earlier debates from 2008, you can see how they tried to frame him as naive. And this came from everybody on the stage. Looking at this junior senator, this first-term senator from Illinois, all of these people on the stage, from Joe Biden to Hillary Clinton to John Edwards, were trying to frame Obama as naive. Obama's plan was crystal clear. He had a plan to defeat these people. His plan was to build a grassroots organization, a 50-state strategy to address different groups of people. It wasn't him getting online and theorizing what he wanted to do, nor was it just him giving a speech to random people. It was a 50-state strategy to address different audiences and their different concerns and different grassroots organizations that literally knocked on doors. These grassroots organizations understood what Obama's plan was even better than Obama. That's the point that you guys are missing. That's what you guys don't understand. When I ask you guys for a plan, you don't have one. So because they had the knowledge and understood what his plan was even better than him, they can go door to door talking to these different individual voters, regardless of their political affiliation, and motivate them to vote. And also attached to Obama's 50-state strategy was a voter drive. Yeah. It was a voter drive attached to it. Remember that conspiracy theory that came out in 2008 with James O'Keefe and Acorn? Yeah, that was the voter drive that Obama was using to motivate people to show up at the polls and vote for him. Obama went around the country talking to military members and their spouses, specifically the lower-ranking military members, the non-commissioned officers, about what their needs were, specifically if they were thinking of transitioning out of the military. It wasn't just a bunch of theory that you read somewhere. It was actionable things that could actually bring about progress. And the Affordable Care Act, this is something that is necessary. As much as leftists like to pretend that it was nothing, this was a plan that actually did something. Before the Affordable Care Act, because a lot of you were infants and you clearly don't know how to research shit, you could get kicked off of your insurance plans for what insurance companies deemed as pre-existing conditions, even if it wasn't a pre-existing condition. This was personal for Obama because when Obama's mother was combating cancer, she was literally on her deathbed, dying from cancer. She was fighting with insurance companies that wanted to drop her from her plan because they were deeming her condition a pre-existing condition. And he also beat the Clintons and the Democratic establishment because he had a lot of small donors that put him over the top, ultimately leading to him winning the Democratic nomination and winning the presidency twice. So when I ask you guys a plan, I don't want to hear a bunch of fucking theory that you read somewhere. I want to hear what your plan is. Telling me that you're going to talk to people that didn't vote is not a fucking plan. That's what Democrats do all the time. They talk to voters that don't vote. You can't even win at the state and local level, and you're trying to convince me that you can win a national race, when you can't even win in these small races that don't have a lot of money coming from the DNC or the RNC. You cannot even win those races, but you are trying to convince us that you can win a national race. This is the reason why I tell people, why I consistently tell you guys to stop engaging with these fools, because they don't actually have shit to offer you. The engagement that you offer them is only a way so that they can grow their following. That is literally the only thing that they are serving. They are literally wasting your fucking time. Stop giving these fools your energy. They are not going to be the ones that save us. They never vote for the Democrats. They don't care about Democrats winning. Most of these people are white that don't really give a fuck who wins because they know no matter what happens, they're going to be fine. So they don't give a shit if Republicans win and take everybody's rights away and deport a bunch of people and marginalized groups feel a fucking fear in this country. They don't give a shit. So stop talking to them. Stop engaging with these fools. They don't have anything to offer us. Serenity now. I've come down from my rant, back down to earth, and I will continue my day as planned. Have the day that you deserve, guys. But one of the things that we need to do going forth is to disconnect all conversations between us and a lot of these full revolutionary leftists online. I have consistently said time and time again, the reason why you're not getting a plan from these people is because they're not trying to find a plan. They live in a perpetual state of theory, and that's the only thing that they're taking into account, theory. They don't care about the nature of this country and how unrealistic their expectations are when it comes to the United States, specifically when it comes to leftist ideals. They'll point to how popular in theory Bernie's policies are, but will ignore the history of this country and the blatant distrust that it has specifically for leftists or socialists or what they deem as communist ideals. I have become a critic of neoliberalism because I think that sometimes with neolibs, they make safe spaces for bigots and people that want to keep these systems of oppression in place. I would view neoliberalism, if I had to put a political face on it, someone like a Gavin Newsom. You see, the reason why I say that is because when it comes to ideals, a lot of neolibs try to hold on to these old systems that keep people oppressed. So you see people like the Tulsi Gabbards and the Gavin Newsoms and the John Fettermans who are basically trying to reinforce these ideals that definitely should be rejected. And instead of celebrating the progressives that help them win or help them get their political career, they eventually start bashing them and demonizing the progressives instead of the system that keeps people oppressed. Now, neoliberalism is a much bigger and much more complex system to discuss than just looking at someone like a Gavin Newsom and saying, yes, neolib. There's a lot of principles and things that, you can look at when it comes to neoliberalism and say, this is something that we can use. For example, when it comes to politics, coalition building, a lot of the people around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world, understand that radical change is usually something that will never fucking happen. And most people around the world don't want a complete revolution that destabilizes the country so much so that they are put in an extreme risk, specifically if they are a part of a marginalized group. Because it will be the marginalized groups that are the most impacted from the instability that comes with a revolution. And one of the things that we also know from a lot of leftists, specifically the ones here in the global north, is everything for them is performative. Everything about their revolutions that they theorize about is performative. They can cosplay online as these faux revolutionaries without any sort of consequences. They know that the government will not come after them. They can come online and advocate for the complete overthrow of the system, the Western imperial system, while they take advantage of being in a Western global North nation where they can speak out against the government and actively vote to change that government that they often choose not to change. It's not lost on me that a lot of the people that I see in my FYP that are so convinced that there's no difference between Democrats and Republicans, no difference between liberals and conservatives, are overwhelmingly white people. And the reason why that is, specifically in the global north, is because you guys make up the majority of the people in the global north. Your family members are the ones that don't want to change anything. Your mothers, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers, your uncles, your aunts, your grandparents, your siblings don't want to change anything. And you just cosplay as the black sheep of the family. But you don't actually want to change anything either, because you benefit from the discourse. If you seriously and truly wanted to end the genocide of Palestinians in Gaza, you would actually do more research than actually going to theory and figure out why the United States is that way. And it's clear that you guys have yet to do the research in figuring out why this is so deeply ingrained in the US psyche, where they see people in the global South as collateral damage for whatever objective they want to achieve. For the United States, for decades now, it has been about security. Security. That has been the primary goal, the primary objective of the United States, security. If there was ever a time where Israel became a liability to the United States security, the United States would drop Israel like a bad habit. A lot of people will point to the attacks by the Israeli government on U.S. vessels, and they will say, well, that proves that the Israeli government is a liability. Not really. For the United States, even at the expense of military members, security is still prioritized. Israel serves its purpose as the military outpost for the United States in the Middle East. If you guys want the United States to get to a point where they prioritize civilian populations and the lives of civilians over military objectives, you cannot continue to protest vote for people that can't win. This is literally something that you have to vote your way out of, and it has to be consistent, and you must have a plan. Because repeating theory to people tells me that you really don't have a plan, and you're just talking out the side of your ass to talk around the fact that you don't actually have a plan. Because this idea of prioritizing security even over civilian lives is so deeply ingrained in the American psyche that they're willing to sacrifice their own people. What makes you think if they are willing to sacrifice their own people in favor of this idea, that they wouldn't be willing to sacrifice people that are not American citizens? I'm gonna need y'all to start being so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real.
Liberals, they mean black. When they lie, it's hyperbole. So when liberals are laughing at the limbs of babies, and liberals want all pallies to, that's hyperbole. I need y'all to understand that those two statements are very similar, and they come from the same place. But the most interesting thing is seeing these people being like, hey guys, actually, maybe we do have a racist problem. You think the fact that y'all been using liberal to really talk about us? Yes. And every time they're like, we can't criticize them just because they're black. No, but you keep saying liberal and you only criticize black people. You guys keep ignoring that we only make up 13% of the population, and that's all of us, including the babies. I mean, at least now we have people just coming straight out and being like as blatant as possible. Like, I mean, we always knew it, right? We can't be gaslit about something that we've always known. Like, this has been our life. Hello?
This is all I got from this video, and it's really crazy that these people think that what is going on for them, it's because black people did not help them or something. But this is really very dark. Like, it's a dense kind of comment. I just do not understand how you are asking someone for help and at the same time accusing the person. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you understand what I am saying. That is like the most dense thing any human being can do. I mean, the fact that the Palestinians, especially the pro-Palestinians, both black and white of them, are just like the most craziest set of human beings I've ever seen since last year to this very moment. These people are seeing what is going on presently. I don't know how it is also black people that caused this present administration's stress and all that. How is that? I don't know, but sometimes it marvels me that people blame people for no reason. And one of the reasons why people will blame you for no reason is because they do not appreciate you, they do not like you. It's obvious, because if you have been in a space where you are trying all you can, or maybe you tried all you could, right, to make people like you, I am sure majority of people will understand what I am saying with this analogy, right? When you are in the midst of people and you are trying all your best to help, assist, and also to be liked, right? Not really to be liked, like you are trying all you can to make sure that they are okay. They mistake your kindness for something else. Because I have never seen any other group of people hold Black people responsible for nothing. You are holding me responsible for what is going on in your community when I know nothing about it. When you people were the one that voted who you voted for. Sometimes I sit down and trying to make this make sense, but it is not making sense. But sometimes I try as much as I can to relax my brain because some people are unbelievable. But you all told me that there is nothing unbelievable about them. And since then, I believe. 3 years ago, this was what you people, I was like, I am surprised. Like things like this are happening. You are like, it's not so, you all would tell me there is nothing unbelievable about it. It's just one of those things. Not until I started making research, like some of these things are not normal because I don't know, but it's not normal that people are saying the right thing and they are saying the right thing is the wrong thing. Maybe I am overreacting or something, but I don't think I am, because I have been the one following this story for how many months? Almost going to a year since last year or last 2 years that this thing started. Last year, in fact, since last year that this started, right? To this very moment. I don't know how they are blaming Black people that they voted for Justine, right? After voting for Justine, what do you expect? You expected Justine to win? And to this very moment, where is she? That is to tell you how crazy the majority of you are. You all are immature. When I say immature, it's literally very immature. That you all do not even know anything. You all come, thank God for English language, because majority of these people do not have any thinking faculty. Like the medulla oblongata is not working purely well. Because if your brain is working well, you definitely will be able to minus and plus some certain things, right? But this one, no, you don't have to minus anything or plus anything. Your brain, you wake up and your brain tells you it is Black people. Like, how did they wake up again? They say it is Black people that wants to honor. How? Where are they finding people to unalive you when you people are not holding the people that are deporting people and kidnapping people out? Okay, so now I am going to ask, what is the way forward? Because you wake up every day to blame Black people. What is the way forward? How do you stop all these things? Are you people not supposed to protest? And the fact that you all are not even doing anything even makes it even worse, because you all are screaming that you are being like, this, that, but I am not seeing you people come out to protest or say something tangible or reasonable. Or better still, if you feel like the whole thing is becoming too much, what is stopping you from relocating? Move down to Palestine and then look for a way to take care of some certain things. Why are all these people coming out every day? It was the other woman that said that she had a pilgrimage, she went for a pilgrimage or something like that with a Black person or Black people, and Black people did this and did that. They've been asking her, can we see the video? At least let's see that you traveled at all. That is to tell you how that the length these people will go to create a scenario and then come out here and say it is Black people, man. It is, I saw somebody's comment that said that it is not tiring. Sincerely speaking, this is tiring because I am the one covering this since last year. And it doesn't make any damn sense that these people wake up every day. It is not like they wake up literally every day to blame Black people for something that I personally do not understand. And I am very sure that they do not even understand it. It is completely exhausting and tiring. The fact that they keep bringing Black people into this tells you how much these people do not even care. Bye for now.